Hello and welcome to BitBoy Crypto. It's everyone's favorite day. It's Sunday. NFL football season is here, but more importantly, it's your new episode of your favorite game show, Hodl, Trade, or Dump. So today we're actually going to be looking at two popular forks and then one that's not actually a fork, but it is a spinoff, you could say, of Bitcoin. So today we're going to be looking at Bitcoin Cash versus Litecoin versus Ethereum Classic. And I'm going to tell you which one I would hodl, which one I would trade, and which one I would dump. We'll set the rules for the game here in just a second. But first, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, we would love for you to become part of our community. Go ahead. All you got to do is click that subscribe button and the bell for notifications, and that's it. You're in the Bit Squad. We also have a Bit Squad Telegram chat. We would love for you to join. You can get that below. If you do become part of our community, you have the chance to win $150 in Bitcoin this month, along with a couple t-shirts. We're going to be picking 5 winners, so make sure that you do go ahead and become a member of the Bit Squad. We're also going to be doing a Telegram giveaway. I'm going to be giving the details of that tonight. We are going to be giving away 2 shirts or maybe a shirt and a hat, depends on whatever they want from the merch store. So, all right, guys, let's get into the game. Hodl, trade, or dump. I'm going to tell you which one I would hodl, which means this is a long-term hold, something I think has a lot of potential. Trade, which means basically it's a good project, and I think that it might be good to get out of it at some point. It's just not a long-term hodl. And then, of course, we have dump, which means I would go ahead and get rid of it now. All right, guys. So the one I would hodl out of this group, as we talked about, we're going to do Bitcoin Cash versus Litecoin versus Ethereum Classic. The one that I would hodl would be Ethereum Classic. I think Ethereum Classic has a lot of potential. And there's really a vast number of reasons. But 2 that I'm going to talk about right now is the downfall of Ethereum, which doesn't necessarily mean Ethereum is going to totally crash, but it has obviously decoupled from Bitcoin. It's not doing good on the charts. And then the other reason would be because of the Coinbase listing. So first, Ethereum Classic is actually the original Ethereum chain. Ethereum, as we know it today, is a fork of Ethereum Classic. But, of course, they voted to keep the name Ethereum. And Charles Hoskinson was behind the fork. Well, not behind the fork, but he is the main name behind the original chain, or Ethereum Classic. We know he's got his hands on a lot of things in crypto, and most of it has been pretty successful. And with the current status of Ethereum, with the price dropping, with people getting scared, getting nervous about where it's going to go, it's under $200. People never thought they would see that. And honestly, I think it's going to fall a little further. I think it's going to be somewhere in the $170 range here in the next couple of weeks. This gives Ethereum Classic really a good opportunity to steal the spotlight, because everything that Ethereum originally had is on that chain. So if people were to start bailing on Ethereum, Ethereum Classic is there as long as they can solve any issues that they might have with scalability as well. So I think that's a good opportunity. And then you also factor in the Coinbase listing. Yes, the Ethereum Classic price did not pump like a lot of people thought any new coin would, but a lot of that has to do with the market. The market is pushed so much down. Ethereum Classic was making big gains Satoshi-wise on Bitcoin, but of course the markets have just been tanking, and it's been really hard for it to really get that come up. However, it has not been hit nearly as hard by the markets as Ethereum has. So who knows really what the future for Ethereum Classic looks like, but like I said, I think there's a lot of potential there, and that's why I would hodl it. So which one would I trade? I'm going to slide Litecoin into this slot. So as we've talked about with some of our other hodl trade dump videos where we had Litecoin listed, we talked a lot about how it does have some issues marketing wise, but it does have a really, really strong community. And as opposed to some of the other strong communities in cryptocurrency, Litecoin's community is not really vicious. I found them to be very accepting, very loving. They want to bring people into their fold. They don't talk trash about other coins. And I really like that about the Litecoin community. Now, Litecoin has a lot of, Litecoin does not have the same issues that, let's say, Bitcoin has with scalability in their network. When the network was really clogged up in December, people were actually putting money into Litecoin in order to do transactions because it was a lot faster. And Litecoin offers that. They offer a faster way to do transactions. They also have one of the biggest crypto celebrities, which is Charlie Lee, behind it. He, of course, always tries to take the spotlight off of himself and really wants to put the spotlight on the cryptocurrency in general. And I really like that too. However, one of their strongest strengths is also one of their biggest weaknesses in my mind, which we talked about on a different video. Charlie Lee coming out and saying everybody own Bitcoin before you own Litecoin would be like the CEO of Pepsi going to everyone and saying, make sure you try Coke before you try Pepsi because it's better. And that's basically what Charlie Lee has done with Litecoin and Bitcoin. So those are some drawbacks in the marketing. And you don't want to tell people to go buy something else before they buy your coin. But Charlie Lee, like I said, he still wants to remain out of the spotlight in terms of being in charge of Litecoin. So actually the Litecoin Foundation, technically, it is the ultimate authority when it comes to Litecoin, not Charlie Lee. So for that reason, that's why I would trade it, not hodl it. But I do think it is too strong to dump it out of these three. So, which one would I dump? As always, you guys know by this point which one I would dump. Bitcoin Cash. I would get rid of that thing faster than you could shake a stick at it. While it has not crashed as hard as Ethereum, it definitely has lost a lot of Satoshi value. And I don't think Bitcoin Cash will be even in the top 10 in crypto after we have our next run. Their community is very strong, but it's also very niched. There's so many things about the actual project of Bitcoin Cash that's really fantastic, but the community is always going to keep it from growing. Because if you have any questions about which one is better, Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash, they immediately throttle you. They tell you that you don't know what you're talking about, and they want to push people out. And that isn't a way for a crypto project to grow. You also add in the manipulation of, let's say, Bitcoin.com, the subreddit r/BTC, the Twitter handle @Bitcoin. These are all ways to manipulate people into believing that actually Bitcoin Cash is Bitcoin, and it's not. It's a fork. It is different. Now, listen, it could be actually closer to the original vision of Satoshi, but what does that even really mean? Specifically, when people say that, they're talking about how Bitcoin has become somewhat centralized, and that Bitcoin Cash is more of an actual peer-to-peer transaction system. Now, like I said, all of that may be true. It may be closer. Like with Bitcoin, there has been a Pandora's box opened with it being anonymous, where now Bitcoin is not actually anonymous. It can be tracked through IP addresses. And I'm not exactly sure where Bitcoin Cash falls on that, but all I'm trying to say is it's going to be very hard in the future for any one project to actually be what Satoshi wanted in his original vision. But is that really even that important? Is Satoshi such a visionary? Of course, we don't know who he is. I believe it's Hal Finney personally. But was Satoshi such a visionary that the first stab at cryptocurrency and blockchain, he got it all right? I don't know. I would say that probably isn't true. I think he is a visionary on what has came from that. But if you look at anything in the past, everything evolves. Like, look at Steve Jobs and his original vision for Apple, what he wanted to be, and then, of course, what it turned into. He was actually removed from Apple at some point, and, of course, came back, and everyone was able to see that his vision also adapted with time. And, unfortunately, I believe Satoshi is dead. I don't think Satoshi is living right now, and so we really wouldn't know whether his idea for what he would want for crypto would adapt and change over time as well. So really the dump for me just involves the community. I'll probably get some dislikes on this video from the Bitcoin Cash community, and also people coming at me saying, all kinds of stuff in the comment section. And you know what, guys? I'm okay with that because that actually proves my point. You don't want to have a community that is so vicious, people feel like they can't be open and honest about how they feel. And I also believe that is definitely not Satoshi's vision. That's one reason why I don't believe, total side note, why Craig Wright couldn't be Satoshi, because Satoshi was for decentralization. He was for open thought, free thought. And then you have these people like Roger Ver and Craig Wright, and they want echo chambers around them all the time. And to me, that doesn't sound like something that Satoshi would have wanted. So that's it, guys. Those are my 3 reasons for picking those are my reasons for picking the 3 of these and sliding them in what slots I did. You guys, please let me know some more suggestions for what we can do for this series. Drop those down below in the comment section. I would love to find some other options for doing this series. Maybe get out of the top 100. Whatever. You guys just drop me some comments. Let me know what you would like to see. So let me know in the comment section also if you agree with my picks. Let me know what you think. Love to see your opinion. All right, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Don't forget, join the Bit Squad, enter our contest. Until next time, BitBoy out.